All right, Scorpio, let's get into your reading. A specific presence fills the spread with unfinished business, and it belongs to one particular person. The tension of restraint is snapping apart right now, and that shift began before I finished laying cards. This person held themselves back from you deliberately, and that control is dissolving at an alarming speed. The pull they resisted for so long finally won, and surrender floods every card on this table. Their patience with their own silence expired recently, and raw, determined forward motion replaced it completely. All right, the message that I have for you today is this: you are about to be pursued by a person who held back, and the chase begins right now. They restrained themselves out of fear and timing, but both barriers crumbled within the last few weeks. What approaches you is not tentative or unsure, and this person arrives with full, unfiltered intention. The hesitation that governed their behavior vanished, and a hunger they stopped fighting took its place. What used to be careful distance transformed into magnetic acceleration, and the cards captured that exact shift. This reading found you at the exact moment the energy tipped, and nothing about that was random. The pursuit forming around you carries a weight and a speed, and your system will sense it first. Our first card is the Knight of Wands, and it storms into this spread with aggressive, passionate fire. The Knight of Wands represents pursuit in its most bold form, and nothing slows this card down. This person quit tiptoeing around their feelings, and their approach will feel direct and almost startling. Their energy flipped from cautious watching to active chasing, and that switch happened faster than anticipated. This card carries absolutely no half measures within it, and the intent behind their movement is total. The speed at which they approach will surprise you, and the conviction in their words will feel unfamiliar. We also have the Two of Cups, and it confirms a deep mutual recognition between both of you. The Two of Cups says what you feel they mirror exactly, and the magnetism runs in both directions. This is not one-sided attraction built on fantasy, and the cards validate that the pull is mutual. Their decision to chase you was fueled by one truth, and that truth is that distance hurt worse. They weighed rejection against the agony of regret, and for the first time, regret lost that battle. Now we have the Magician, and this card shows that their approach carries precision behind the passion. The Magician says they gathered every tool available to them, and the strategy forming is calculated and sharp. Nothing about their pursuit will feel scattered, and each step toward you carries deliberate thought behind it. This card confirms they possess the means to reach you, and confidence to act on it grows daily. The Magician reveals they have been visualizing this outcome privately, and their focus locked entirely on you. Every quiet moment they spent alone was invested rehearsing, and they played this pursuit out inside their mind. Our final card is the Ace of Wands, and it ignites this entire spread with fresh, fiery beginning. The Ace of Wands opens a new chapter between you, and the initial spark has already been lit. This is not a recycled attempt or a repeat of old rhythms, and what comes is completely original. The fire behind this pursuit burns with a clarity that did not exist before, and everything shifts now. The energy surrounding this chase activated before you found this reading, and the timing confirms that truth. You will sense the first ripple of their approach before direct contact lands, and your body knows first. Their pursuit does not arrive on gentle terms, and the force behind it removes any space for doubt. Whether it surfaces through a bold text or an unexpected encounter, this person is done watching from distance. Every card here pointed to one undeniable conclusion, and the chase already left the starting line. What builds between you carries unstoppable momentum, and neither of you can redirect it or slow it. The restraint they wore like armor has been permanently discarded, and what remains is pure, relentless pursuit. Now, the reading pivots in your direction, and I can feel your personal energy flooding into these cards. You've been sitting in a waiting room of your own making, and the stillness has become suffocating. There is a restlessness inside you that grows louder each day, and you cannot quiet it anymore. Part of you suspected something was shifting on their end, and that suspicion kept nudging you awake. Your intuition picked up signals your conscious mind dismissed, and that disconnect left you feeling unsteady. Your body understood before your brain caught up, and that physical knowing is a gift you should trust. You felt movement in the air between you both, and then talked yourself out of trusting it. The fatigue in your spirit is not from weakness, and it comes from holding two truths at once. One truth says they walked away, and the other truth whispers that their absence never felt final. You could not reconcile those opposing realities, and the tension between them wore you down over time. What I need to highlight here is your strength, because the cards honor how you carried yourself. Our first card is the Empress, and she arrives radiating a warm, grounded feminine power that defines you. The Empress confirms you carry an energy that nourishes everything around you, and people gravitate toward it. This person included, and the magnetic quality you possess is exactly what pulled them in initially. This card says your softness is not a weakness, and it is the weapon they cannot defend against. The version of you that remained open despite pain, that is exactly what makes their return inevitable. We also have the Nine of Wands, and this card acknowledges the exhaustion living behind your composure. The Nine of Wands says you have been through enough battles, and your guard is justifiably raised high. You are tired of investing emotionally without guarantees, and the exhaustion behind that is completely understandable. This card validates that weariness, and it also confirms that you have one more round of strength left. The final push required from your end is not a grand gesture, and it is simply staying open. The universe does not ask you to perform readiness, and it asks you to stop resisting what comes. Now we have the Four of Cups, and it gently confronts the emotional numbness you built around yourself. The Four of Cups reveals you grew so guarded lately that genuine opportunities started blending into background noise. Your protective mode served its purpose well, but it is now blocking the very thing you prayed for. This card is asking you to lift your gaze, because what approaches deserves your full, unclouded attention. The offering heading your way is real, and dismissing it from old habit would be the sole loss. Our final card is the Three of Wands, and it casts your vision outward toward the approaching horizon. The Three of Wands says something you planted with quiet intention, it is finally bearing visible fruit today. Your patience was not passive waiting, and it was active cultivation that the universe registered and honored. This card confirms you stand on elevated ground now, and from here you can see what approaches clearly. The pursuit heading toward you is visible in the distance, and with each passing day, it draws closer. What this section reveals is that you are prepared and far more ready than your doubt would suggest. Your heart knows exactly how to receive what comes, and the cards trust your instincts completely here. The armor you wore through the waiting period kept you intact, and now the time to soften arrives. Allow your guard to lower at its own pace, and trust that vulnerability is safe in this moment. The person approaching brings enough certainty for both of you, and their conviction will steady your nerves. You spent months wondering if your feelings were matched, and the answer sitting in these cards is absolute. This pursuit was always going to find you, and the only variable was the timing of its arrival. The weight of wondering lifts soon, and what replaces it is solid ground beneath your feet at last. You stood in your power without knowing it, and the cards reflected that beauty back to you clearly. Your season of questioning ends here, and what opens next is a chapter built on undeniable mutual pursuit. So the cards pull me toward this person now, and their inner world opened with startling honesty. Their energy entered this spread carrying months of accumulated tension, and it presses against every card here. This is not a person who takes decisions lightly, and their choice to pursue you was hard earned. They fought against their own instincts for a long time, and the internal battle left visible marks. What drove their restraint was not a lack of feeling, and the cards made that distinction immediately clear. It was a calculated withdrawal designed to protect them, and that strategy finally reached its expiration date. The armor they built around their feelings rusted through, and your memory was the force that corroded it. Our first card is the Hermit, and it confirms that this person spent real time alone processing you. The Hermit says they retreated inward deliberately, and the solitude they sought was entirely about understanding you. They needed distance to measure the weight of what they felt, and the answer crushed their defenses. This card reveals a period of quiet reflection, and every road they explored led directly back to you. They searched for reasons to walk away permanently and found nothing strong enough to justify your absence. The isolation they chose was not about forgetting you, and it was about preparing to come back fully. Every silent day apart was a day of reckoning, and the depth of it shocked even them. We also have the Eight of Cups, and this card shows something powerful about their emotional turning point. The Eight of Cups says they walked away from the old version of things, and it felt final. That departure felt permanent to you, but the cards reveal it was never intended as a lasting goodbye. They left because conditions at that time could not hold the weight, and they needed space to evolve. This card confirms they needed to outgrow their own limitations before returning, and that growth happened fully. The returning version shed the skin of who they used to be, and it was not gentle. What changed inside them is not subtle, and the transformation they went through reshaped how they see everything. They are not who they were when they walked away, and the returning version carries earned maturity. Now we have the Seven of Swords, and it adds a layer of strategic secrecy to their approach. The Seven of Swords says they moved behind the scenes, and not everyone around them knows the truth. This person kept their intentions regarding you hidden from people around them, and that was deliberate. They kept their feelings private, and the closest people in their world have no idea about it. This card reveals a private operation unfolding quietly, and you are the only target of their focused attention. The secrecy is not manipulation, and it is protection of something they consider too sacred to share publicly. They protect what they feel for you like a wound, and only you will ever see beneath it. Our final card here is the Queen of Pentacles, and she reveals the practical grounding behind their pursuit. The Queen of Pentacles says this person approaches you with substance, not empty promises or reckless emotion. They built something tangible during the time apart, and they intend to offer you stability alongside devotion. They restructured their life to make room for you, and the adjustments made were physical and real. You are not crazy for sensing purpose in their withdrawal, and the cards confirm you were right. Their silence contained preparation, and every quiet month was spent building a foundation worthy of your attention. This person studied their own patterns honestly, and the flaws that once sabotaged them have been addressed directly. The version of them approaching you now comes equipped with answers, and those answers were forged through isolation. Their inner world is no longer chaotic, and the clarity gained during retreat fuels this entire pursuit. The depth of their choosing runs far beyond surface attraction, and it reaches into something almost primal. Every card in this section confirmed that their return is not impulsive, and it is deeply calculated devotion. What approaches carries the full weight of a person who chose you after eliminating every alternative first. Okay, the pace of this reading just cracked wide open, and what follows is pure external movement. Their internal processing is finished, and the cards now track the physical steps they take toward you. Feelings are no longer the story here, and what matters now is the tangible, visible steps they execute. The transition from thinking to acting happened already, and the momentum in these cards is undeniable. What you witness next in their behavior, it carries a boldness that feels foreign compared to before. They stopped asking themselves whether to pursue you, and that question died sometime in the last few weeks. The only conversation left in their mind is about execution, and every detail is being mapped carefully. Our first card is the Tower, and it crashes through the old dynamic with absolute devastating force. The Tower says the previous pattern between you is being demolished, and nothing from the old way survives. Whatever framework kept you both stuck in hesitation is collapsing, and it cannot be rebuilt once fallen. This card brings sudden disruption that feels alarming initially, but the rubble clears faster than expected. The tower confirms that this person burned through a major internal barrier, and it freed them completely. The destruction was necessary, and what rises from the wreckage is a clearer version of their commitment. A realization struck them with force recently, and the impact of it rewired their entire approach to you. They understood that playing it safe was the greatest risk, and that clarity arrived like lightning inside them. This card does not deliver gentle nudges, and what they experienced was a full spiritual shakedown about you. We also have the Six of Wands, and this card radiates triumphant energy aimed directly toward victory. The Six of Wands says this person approaches with confidence, like a battle already won inside themselves. The doubt that once paralyzed their steps has been replaced with earned conviction, and it shows in everything. This card tells me they feel victorious just from choosing to pursue you, and the outcome feels destined. Their posture shifted from cautious retreating to confident advancing, and the transition was swift and permanent. The Six of Wands also suggests recognition, and the connection between you gains visibility in the near future. People around you may begin sensing the shift before direct words are exchanged, and their curiosity will grow. Our final card is the Knight of Swords, and this card charges forward with aggressive intellectual clarity. The Knight of Swords confirms their approach is sharp and decisive, and hesitation has no place left. This person knows exactly what they want to say, and the message they carry was refined through repetition. Their pursuit cuts through noise directly, and you will not need to decode hidden meanings in their words. The communication coming your way is blunt and honest, and it leaves absolutely zero room for confusion. The speed at which things unfold from this point forward may catch you unprepared, and that is expected. Their timing will feel aggressive compared to the silence you endured, and the contrast may feel jarring. Prepare yourself for the velocity of their arrival, because the speed matches the depth they carry inside. This is not recklessness, and what drives this velocity is the accumulated pressure of months spent holding back. The contact arrives with surgical precision, and the words chosen are designed to land without room for doubt. They mapped this approach in advance, and every step they take from here follows a predetermined intentional path. Both of you are about to collide at the intersection of timing and readiness, and neither arrived randomly. The cards say the pursuit begins from their end with visible, undeniable action, and it starts very soon. You do not need to initiate anything, and the motion coming toward you carries force for both. Stay exactly where you are and remain open, because the pursuit in your direction requires no chase. Their pursuit carries enough intention for both of you, and when it arrives, you will feel it immediately. What you witness next is their most intentional action ever, and it was designed entirely for you. The only thing left is providing the space for them to land, and they take care of everything. Now, the cards descended into the rawest layer of this reading. An unspoken truth emerges here. This section strips away every mask they constructed, and the confession underneath is both tender and consuming. What they conceal from the world is not casual attraction, and it runs to the very marrow. The words they swallowed over the months did not dissolve, and they compacted into something volatile inside. If your pulse quickened hearing that, then your body is responding to the same frequency they emit constantly. That physical reaction is not random, and the cards confirm that your nervous system reads their signal accurately. Our first card is Death, and it reveals the absolute transformation their feelings for you caused. Death says an old version of this person had to die before the pursuing version could finally emerge. The identity they clung to before meeting you no longer fits, and your impact on them was permanent. This card confirms they grieved who they were before you, and that mourning process happened in total secrecy. The old version could not coexist with what they feel for you, and that identity was quietly buried. Nobody witnessed the death of their former self, and nobody knows the shape of who they became after. What they confess in private silence is staggering, and you rewired their entire understanding of connection. They did not believe this kind of attachment existed before you, and its arrival terrified their nervous system. The transformation was not gentle or gradual, and it tore through them with a force beyond preparation. We also have the Four of Pentacles, and this card exposes how desperately they cling to your memory. The Four of Pentacles says they grip every shared moment tightly and refuse to release a single one. This person hoards the feeling of you like treasure, and the possession they feel is private and ferocious. They replay specific interactions obsessively, and the details they remember would shock you with their precision. A particular look you gave them lives permanently inside their mind, and they revisit it like sanctuary. The hidden confession here is ownership, and they consider what exists between you to be exclusively theirs. They view the bond as sacred territory, and the thought of sharing your attention triggers something primal within. That possessiveness frightens them at a deep level because it contradicts the independence they always projected outward. Give yourself permission to absorb this fully, because what you sense about their intensity is accurate and real. Their protector instinct commanded them to guard these feelings, and for a long time, they obeyed fully. The cards say that obedience shattered recently, and the cost of silence finally outweighed its safety. Now we have the Five of Cups, and it reveals the heavy grief they carry over wasted time. The Five of Cups says they mourn the days spent apart, and deep regret sits heavy within them. This person grieves conversations that never happened, and intimacy that should have existed but was postponed instead. The weight of missed opportunities does not lighten with time, and these cards show it growing more unbearable. Their hidden truth is that restraint was their greatest mistake, and they feel that knowledge viscerally. The ache of knowing they could have stood beside you this whole time, it corrodes them from within. What they ache to tell you would fill entire conversations, and the backlog of unspoken words overwhelms them. They imagine confessing everything in one breathless rush, and in those fantasies, your face softens with understanding. The private version of this person differs radically from the public one, and only you will see both. Their body craves proximity to yours with startling intensity, and no substitute has dulled that pull. Every wall they built around this confession weakened over time, and the next version of contact shatters them. Every fiber of their hidden emotional world wraps tightly around you, and not once has that orbit shifted. Their entire hidden existence orbits you silently, and the gravitational pull of it controls every private moment. The cards confirm this devotion is permanent, and no amount of distance will alter what lives inside them. At the core of their silence sits concentrated love, and the sheer weight of it scares them deeply. Let us go ahead and dive into this final stretch because the cards will show you the landing. Everything revealed across this reading now converges, and the near future brings visible, tangible resolution. What I see approaching in the weeks ahead is direct pursuit, and the force behind it is unmistakable. This person crosses the threshold from intention to action, and when they do, it will reshape everything. Our first card is the World, and it signals completion of a major cycle that held you back. The World says the waiting period officially ends, and a full circle moment arrives that feels deeply significant. The reunion approaching carries a ceremonial quality, and both of you will sense the gravity of it instantly. Picture yourself in the moment after they speak, and notice how the tension you carried simply dissolves. That version of you exhaled for the first time in months, and the relief felt physical and total. We also have Judgment, and this card calls both of you into a higher version of this connection. Judgment says this is not a casual reconnection, and the energy demands you both show up honestly. This card carries a spiritual awakening between you, and the depth of what emerges will surprise you both. Judgment confirms that past mistakes are being released, and what forms in their place is clean, new ground. Our final card is Strength, and it wraps this reading in quiet, assured power that belongs to you. Strength says your softness becomes your greatest asset, and the patience you demonstrated earns its full reward. This card confirms you do not need to perform toughness, and genuine warmth is what closes distance. Now, let me share the guidance these cards offer, because the advice matters as this chapter opens. When their pursuit reaches you, resist the urge to test them with walls or manufactured distance. Receive the approach for exactly what it is, and trust the sincerity without demanding immediate perfection from them. Allow the conversation to breathe naturally, and do not rush to fill every silence with reassurance or questions. The most powerful thing you offer in that moment is your presence, and your steady calm grounds them. Let me bring us back to the core message because it deserves one final clear moment of attention. You are about to be pursued by a person who held back, and that chase has officially begun. They restrained themselves before out of fear and timing, and both of those barriers finally shattered completely. Across this entire reading, the cards confirmed this from every possible direction, without a single contradiction. We opened with the Knight of Wands and Two of Cups, confirming bold mutual pursuit and genuine reciprocity. The Magician and Ace of Wands showed calculated strategy, paired with a fiery, brand new beginning between you. The Empress and Nine of Wands honored your magnetic warmth and the resilience you demonstrated through the wait. The Four of Cups and Three of Wands urged you to lift your gaze and recognize what approaches. The Hermit and Eight of Cups revealed their retreat was purposeful and the growth during absence was real. The Seven of Swords and Queen of Pentacles exposed their quiet strategy and the practical foundation they built. The Tower and Six of Wands demolished old patterns and replaced hesitation with triumphant forward conviction. The Knight of Swords confirmed sharp, decisive action, and Death revealed the total transformation they underwent. The Four of Pentacles and Five of Cups exposed obsessive grip and grief over wasted time apart. The World and Judgment closed this reading with completion and the higher calling between your two souls. Strength confirmed that your gentle power is the anchor, and everything in this reading validates your intuition. This is real, and every card across all 6 sections spoke the same undeniable truth without wavering once. If this reading landed with you, come back and share when the pursuit arrives, because it absolutely will. I appreciate you being here through all of this, and I send you nothing but pure warmth. Take care of yourself with tenderness, and hold on to the certainty these cards placed in your spirit today. Thank you for being here, and always remember, you deserve the full force of love heading your way. Everything revealed across this reading now converges, and the near future brings visible, tangible resolution. What I see approaching in the weeks ahead is direct pursuit, and the force behind it is unmistakable. This person crosses the threshold from intention to action, and when they do, it will reshape everything. Our first card is the World, and it signals completion of a major